Hot damn! What up, what up? My friends, my people, what's going on in the hood? Reed, my man, what's going on? Hey, Reed, by the way, I got your business plan. I got to go over it. My friends, welcome to the big show. It is a pleasure to have everybody in here. Who do we got in here? Let me know where y'all coming in from. How was your day? Awesome, Chris. Good to see you. Chris from Virginia, what up? My friend from San Antonio. A little Baton Rouge in the house. Jorge, my friend, ¿cómo está usted? ¿Qué pasa? Sujay, my friend. Man, it's good to have everybody in here today. Philadelphia, all right. Montreal, the Philippines. Marvin, how you doing, brother? Awesome. Guys, let's get down to it. We got a lot of stuff to do today. We've got tons to cover. First of all, I appreciate everybody coming in from yesterday's webinar. The feedback was fantastic. I got so many text messages from you guys. It warms the heart. Save that number. I know a few of you guys I didn't reply to. I was up late, but I will make sure to get to all of you guys. I really appreciate you guys reaching out. You know, trading is a lifelong journey, and you got to have, you know, friends in good places that can lead you there. And so I really appreciate you guys text messaging me and letting me know how you liked the webinar. The feedback was fantastic. If you could just quickly give me a raise of hands or a holler if you're coming in fresh. You missed yesterday's webinar, but you're coming in today for the first time. I'll get you guys caught up on what to do and where to go. Yesterday's webinar was recorded, so you guys will be able to catch up and rewatch it. Al, I got you. Jorge, I got you, my friend. Stuart, awesome. Okay, so guys, day 2, we're going to be building on the concepts that we did of day 1, but it doesn't mean that if you missed yesterday, you got to turn this dial off. If anything, just focus in, and then we've got, Josh is going to get you the replay link for yesterday's webinar so you can rewatch it. Guys, all of this stuff will be recorded. I challenge you guys to rewatch this stuff and hit me up with any questions you have. You guys got my email, you got my phone number, you know, any questions you have on the material, I'm your guy. This is what we do. And if anybody couldn't find the webinar or didn't come in their email, Josh will give it to you guys and make sure that you guys are all caught up. But let's get down to work because we got so much to do, and we will chit chat and have fun and answer questions at the end. Guys, the way I do the webinars, I just flow with it. I go with it, and we go and we shred it. And then at the end, I will make sure to answer every single one of you guys' questions. So let's get started. Let's go do what we do. Let's be great. Let's be amazing. Let's have a good time. And then we'll answer everybody's questions at the end. Let's talk a little bit about the agenda. Today, we're going to do a couple things. So I've changed up some of the format because from yesterday, I noticed a lot of you guys were new. And so I've added a couple things at day 2 and taken some things out. So today, we're going to talk about a trading setup that I use every single day. Yesterday, you were given, right, your free stock charts, how to set up your charts. We're going to add that now, how you set up your intraday charts. Then from there, I'm going to show you a pattern that I have been using for over a decade. It's a pattern that has been showing up every day in the market since I can remember. you guys can actually take this and profit from it right away. I'm going to go into detail and give you literally the recipe on how I trade it, and then most importantly, how to profit from it. From there, we'll talk about trends, daily routine, and then we'll start diving into risk management, which is really, I think, the most important thing in trading. As you know, I tend to ad-lib a little bit for some of you guys that have been with us for a while. So I ad-lib a little bit, and so we may take this into a different field. That's okay. Just play along because it's going to be amazing. I like to get a feel for how the webinars are going, and then I change my way. All right? So let's have a little bit of fun. As we know, day 3, we'll talk about trading psychology. Guys, day 3 you don't want to miss, okay? Success, business, trading, it's all mental. How do we get our fingers to click the buttons at the right time? We've all been there. When we know that something is the right thing to do and we don't do it, right? We've all been there at spots in our life. And so I want to really talk to you about that mental side of trading over the years so I can get to a better level. I've worked with trading psychologists. I have a performance coach even right now. His name is Ben Newman. He works with athletes, the UFC champ, Tyron Woodley. He was just in Alabama working with Nick Saban and his group. Best performance coach in the industry. And he's given me so much insight in what really takes to go out and attack, be on the attack, on the hunt every single day, because that's so important, right? How do we bang out the process and really get better a little bit every single day? That's going to be huge. And Andrew, I totally got you. We will get you in touch with somebody. Then day 3, we'll talk about how to trade breakouts and breakdowns, how to align things on multiple time frames. And then day 4 is going to be really important too. How do we transition from coming into these webinars to learning something that you guys are going to practice to actually doing this for a living? Now, some of you guys just want to make a little income, and that's awesome. That's great. But for some of you guys, you want to take it to the next level. I'm going to show you how to get into full-time trading, and not just like, oh, take my class and, you'll be a full-time trader, but really the steps that I went through so that I could do this for long-term, set myself up for long-term success, and then we'll put it all together. Like, how the heck do we take everything from this class and put it all together and get to where we got to go? All right, guys, stick around to the end. We're going to have a boot camp winner announced. So I'm giving away my 60-day trading boot camp at the end of this. So stick around. You have to be in the webinar, and I will make sure to announce a winner. I'm going to give away something for free. I'll give you a special offer, and then we'll do a Q&A. For those of you guys that are new, you're probably thinking, why the heck is this guy's trading class 60 days, right? Everybody else on the internet has like 3-4 days stuff. You spend 6 hours learning something, and they say you're going to make a bunch of money. Well, it takes 60 days, I believe, to actually get this down. This business is a real business. It's no different than being a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a teacher, whatever your profession is. This is my profession. Imagine I was trying to learn what you do in 3-4 days or a few hours. Could I come into your job and do that in a couple hours by watching some videos? No, you need a full-blown program with live classes, live mentorship, so that you can get ahead. And I believe, and I've narrowed this down in the last 10 years, I've been teaching people, I've really narrowed it down. Our boot camp used to be 16 days. Think about this. It used to be 16 days. And as I was going through boot camp, I'm like, man, after 16 days, these guys aren't shredding the way that I thought they would be. And I started really digging into like what really makes somebody learn something, what really builds their performance. And I realized like that 60-day mark of really all intensive information, homework, studying, all that fun stuff. That's what it takes to actually understand this stuff down to a T. So my class is long, it's intensive, and I coach hard. I coach hard, I coach aggressive, I coach with energy and passion, and I expect my students to have that same will, because that's what it takes to really have success in this world. You know, you want to go out and be something, you've got to be able to match it, right? You're competing against people that are smart and motivated, so you've got to be too, but I can help you get there. And so that's why my boot camp is 60 days. So today's agenda, we're going to break down my daily routine of what I actually do to get ready for the day in terms of my homework, my preparation, my mentality. All of that stuff is so important. I'm going to show you like how I actually get ready for the day. Then we're going to talk a little bit about how to read a stock's trend. In trading, there's all sorts of little gimmicks and all sorts of random stuff. But evidence and research has shown that trading in powerful trends is the best way to make money long term with low risk. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to identify trends, how to find them, and then most important, how to profit from them. Then we're going to talk a little bit about risk management. So we got a lot on the table today, all right? We got to talk a little bit about risk management, how you manage the risk, how you stay in the game. See, when you're new, you're not that good. But you have to give yourself, say, 6 months time, I think, to get really good. You can make money quicker, but to get truly good and like do this without thought, do this with intuition, you've got to have 6 months of screen time. So to get to 6 months before actually blowing up your account requires great risk management and habits. And so we're going to talk about that. How do you put yourself in the position to succeed and get the screen time you need so that you can succeed? And then we're going to talk a little about how to time entries and exits on some of my favorite trading patterns. I'm going to give you today a day trading pattern. Then tomorrow, I'm going to give you a swing trading pattern, something that you can use longer term. I know half of you guys are day traders and half of you guys are going to be swing traders. If you could just give me a quick raise of hands, who here is interested in part-time trading or trading from your smartphone, doing longer term trades versus day trading? Okay. Tango, swing trader. James. Ruben, swing trader. Okay. We got a lot of swing traders. Cool. So look, people are always like, a lot of times when people are new, they're like, well, what makes me more money? Is this swing trading or day trading? They're all the same. Trading is trading. You have to trade what you're good at that fits your lifestyle, your work situation, your family situation. I believe personally that you should learn both. I teach both. And when I quit my job, so I worked as a headhunter at Management Recruiters of Birmingham. It's a company in Michigan. I was a headhunter. I was in the cubicle just working, making calls. I quit my job, saved up enough money, made up enough money trading, and I was doing it all part-time trading. I actually had a job where my boss would, man, he gave me that evil eye like all the time. Anybody ever get the evil eye from their boss when you're doing something you're not supposed to do? My boss, Brian Binky, we used to call him Binkles. He literally, because he knew I loved to trade, he would be like always like looking at my desk, like seeing what I'm doing. And I'd have to be like sitting there with hotkeys trying to go from my charts to my work stuff. So I'm going to teach you how to part-time trade. So you don't get damn fired from your job for day trading while you're supposed to be working. Because in the end, look, somebody's paying you, do your job, right? I mean, that's going to be probably one of the most important things to do. Like, that's just an honest thing to do. Your employer pays you, do your job, right? So not all of us can day trade all the time. So I'm going to show you guys how to kind of split up your days. so that you can day trade if you want, if you have a couple hours in the morning, and then you can do longer term trades. And when I mean longer term trades, I'm talking about like 2 days to 10 days. So you're not like investing like Warren Buffett or something, but we're going to look for explosive gains where you can make 20, 30, 40% over the course of a handful of weeks or a handful of days. In trading, we're always looking for inflection points where stock is not moving at all, and then all of a sudden it's flying. The identification of that inflection point is what makes a trade. So how do we find those lines in the sand so that we can go out and buy a stock and it starts moving in our favor right away, and then we'll be able to hold it for multiple days? So for those of you guys that were not with us yesterday, I'm Kunal. I'm the head janitor of this place. I've got 12 employees. One of the guys that's answering your questions on this right now, his name is Josh. He's one of my students. He came to me when he was 16 years old. He heads up our marketing department. He's also a really good trader. And hopefully one day he'll be the one doing these webinars, and I'll be able to take a break. But till that day, I'm still the big man of the show. But he'll be there answering your questions, doing all that stuff. Guys, I've been, Angelique, I see you. I love you. My friend, I've been trading stocks for the last over 10 years. I started at the end of 2007, and I've been doing it ever since then. I've traded through the recession. I traded through the boom. I've traded through the cryptocurrency boom, the cryptocurrency bubble. You name it, I've seen it. And even before that, I was trading. I traded the tech bubble, the tech bust. None of that was successful, but I was still doing it. I've been a speaker at events all over the world. You name a place that's been fun, it's been cool. I spoke there or lived there or traded there. It's been a wild, wild journey. And guys, I've taught literally thousands of students. I've had over 250 students literally come and stay at my house and stay with me and learn to trade. They come here and have a little vacation. They learn to trade. I've had so many of my students come here and do that. It's awesome. And I'm going to show you my momentum-based strategy. My momentum-based strategy is, I believe, the best strategy for people with small accounts that need to grow them. There are a lot of good strategies out there, but most of them require tons of capital. Most of them, especially the people that like short stocks all the time or do different things, you need $50,000, $100,000 in capital for most places to actually be able to trade. That's nuts, right? My skill is in finding hot stocks and taking trading patterns that are explosive, where you can grow your account from 2,000 to 5,000 to 10,000, or 5,000 to 10,000 to 15,000, or 15,000 to 20,000, 25,000. My specialty is taking retail traders, because that's how I trade, and growing their accounts and taking income out of it every single day, and then leaving some to build wealth. So we're always in this thing for two reasons. One, to build income, right? How do I make $100, $200, $500, $1,000 a day? And then how do I build long-term wealth, which is really, really important. You can't have just one. Otherwise, you're just stuck in a lifestyle business versus a wealth-generating business. So we've got to always be learning both. So let's talk a little bit about how to read a stock's trend. Whoa. So for those of you guys that are not here with us, we use a free charting platform called freestockcharts.com. Open it up on your Internet Explorer, and then refer back to yesterday's videos to show you how to add all the indicators. And as we're going through class, you can follow along. But let's talk a little about how to read a stock's trend. So stocks, they react to the overall picture of the market, or catalyst. So you ever hear the term like a rising tide lifts all boats? Rising tide lifts all boats. So like when the market is going up, a majority of stocks actually go up with it. But there are some caveats to it that change things. So number one, stocks that have good earnings or good news or bad news, those stocks can move independent to the market and start the trend. So we're always looking at the overall market. And if I'm just trading a general stock because I like it, then it's got to react with the overall trend of the market. But if a stock has a piece of news out, something fresh that can impact on a fundamental level, those stocks will move irregardless to what's happening in the actual market. So that becomes huge when you're looking to analyze stocks. And we're going to touch upon that today on how to find stocks that actually have good news out. Stocks also react to the overall sector trends. So it's important that when you're looking at a stock, you're always thinking about what the overall trend is of a particular sector. So for example, if the solar sector is hot, then a majority of the individual solar stocks in that sector are going to be hot. Recently, we have seen a huge run in oil. So what we've seen that follows the run in oil is oil stocks are starting to go up this past year because of that individual sector. So it's important to understand what's going on in the actual sector. Your best setups work when you have a catalyst that complements not only the market, but also the sector. So at times, like there's sectors like Chinese IPOs or Ebola stocks or marijuana stocks. When a sector gets hot, all of a sudden, every single stock in that sector starts to trend. And this becomes really, really important. When you're thinking about trading, like the last big run in terms of sectors, like we saw a run in these Chinese video company plays about a month ago. So what ended up happening was there was some recent IPOs in the Chinese video sector. So this would be like, oh, this is the Netflix of China. The other one is the Amazon of China or the Twitch TV of China, whatever it might be. But they're all just video plays on the Chinese sector. So at times, about in April, this company IQ came out with an IPO and it just kind of sat around. But at some point, it really, really started to move. And so what ended up happening is when IQ started to move, what you started to see was a run in the whole sector. So what we do when we're looking at this stuff is we always start looking for offshoots. So like things that work with one company tend to flow into the other. So like with IQ, what are its competitors? I'm going to show you how to quickly scan for that. So IQ, once it starts to go, what's its next competitor? This HUA, right? So it's called a sympathy play. So one starts to go up, and then the rest of this stuff starts to go up. So this thing goes from 15 to 50 in a matter of, a month and a half? And then this one goes in during that same time, it goes from 15 to about 45. And then the next one, so this Billy is another Chinese IPO company. So these are all IPOs, they're fresh companies, and then they're very focused in a particular sector, they're Chinese names. And so then this one goes from $10 to $22. So it's important to understand the trends in particular sectors. So how would you find out? Like, so for example, how would you find out? Like, okay, so one stock is going. How do you find the other one? How do you find the rest of them so that you can ride on the trends? Anybody know? Like, what's the easiest way that you would find the offshoots? If one is going, it's a sympathy play, good Boris, how would you find the rest of them? Anybody have an idea? Google, good. You can Google it, of course. Yahoo Finance, good. A good chat room, good. Stanley with Edgar, good. Screeners, scanners, woo! Okay, you guys are ready to go today. This is what I like, man, the participation. You guys got ideas. Y'all hopped up on some coffee today. Good. FinViz, awesome. TC2000, good. Joe Scavarelli, good to see you. Ask Canal, of course. So the easiest way I find to find sectors, I'm going to give you the way I do it and then a easy way to do it if you don't have this. If you have TC2000, if you go in and hit this watch list button and you type in whatever it might be, a silver, what you can do is, like, it'll say here Morningstar Industries. You can click it and it's going to show you every single silver stock that's out on the market. So you'll be able to flip through them in the charts real quick. So that's one way. And this works. TC2000 is the best for this stuff. Like, you can type in oil and all the oil stocks will come up. You could type in China, right? And then all of a sudden you'll have all the Chinese stocks show up. So TC2000 is a great way to actually go and find the sympathy plays. There's some secondary ways that also come. So if you don't have TC2000, that's totally fine. You can use Google Finance. You could use Benzinga. There's quite a few different ways. You can use Google Finance and do the same thing. It won't be as intuitive, obviously, because you're going to hop on the net, but it'll still do the job. So, like, if you come in and you're on your Google Finance and you type in IQ, right? So if you type in IQ, what you'll start to see is like news and all this kind of stuff on the chart. But what you'll see if you keep scrolling down is at some point, hold on, compare. Oh man, they've taken away this thing. So Google Finance is not going to work. So use finviz.com. Whenever you think about free stuff, sometimes that's the nature of the game. So, like, if you think about like an oil stock, for example, I trade this WTI. So when you think about oil stocks, I'm trading this WTI all the time. So if you go in on FinViz and you go to oil and gas drilling, what you'll start to see is all the other companies show up. So there's 41 companies. A bar chart would work too. So if it's going to look like this. If you hit this button TA, remember it's all recorded. I know I'm going fast, but we've got a lot of stuff to fit in. So if you hit TA, what you'll see is all the different charts is going to be in alphabetical order. So you'll see different stuff show up that would be in sympathy of these actual sectors. So you can use something like FinViz. Now for me, I've always used TC2000. For me, it's like, hey, you pay $30 a month and blah, blah, blah. It's just worth it to me because it's cheap and I get to do everything I need to do. So that's just the easiest way for me to personally do it. But you can use FinViz or just search on Google and start Googling it, competitors to XYZ. It's just a little bit more manual. That's the thing always in trading. It's like there's tons of free tools out there and they're fine. I used them my whole life, like while I was building on my trading account. It just takes more work, right? Because you got to sit there and type everything. Where sometimes if you all use an awesome platform, you have to pay, but you get everything at your fingertips, And so, something like TC2000, I'm not a big believer in having huge trading costs, a bunch of scanners and a bunch of junk. But I think the $30 a month or whatever TC2000 does tends to be really the best one. So let's talk a little bit about multiple time frames. So when we're thinking about stocks trends, we've got to apply all this stuff on multiple time frames. So it's something we're going to go over later. So like if you're gapping a chart on an intraday basis, it's got to fit in with the bigger picture. So let's talk a little bit about patterns. So a lot of you guys been asking me. So yesterday's class, we set up our charts. We talked about what all the indicators do. We talked about how they interact with each other. Yesterday's class was very, very important. I need you guys to review that class again and again, because those charts that we talked about and how we set them up is going to be the most important thing we do. So now let's talk about opening range breakouts. So opening range breakout is a strategy that I've been using forever. It's something that I do almost every day, at least multiple times a week. So the opening range breakout is a pattern that's really highly effective day trading technique. It gets you into strong momentum stocks early in the move. All right? Gets you into strong momentum stocks early in the move. So what we're typically looking for is stocks that gap up or down at the open. So anybody know what a gap is? Anybody know what a gap is? So like when you think about a gap, what a gap essentially is, so go on your free stock charts and just follow along. So like this stock, RETA. So like it gapped this today from 46 to $50. All right, it gapped from 46 to $50. Why did it gap up like that? Why is that space there? The space is there because it had some type of fresh news out. It had some type of earnings or news out that said like something good is happening in this company. So what typically happens when you have a gap like that is we know that there's something good that's happening with the company. So like every morning at 9 a.m., I scan for these gaps. I'm scanning for these gaps. I'm scanning for these gaps for a very particular reason. Because I know that fresh news is out on this company. We're good? Yeah. I wouldn't mind a little cup of coffee too. I got you. Cool. So I'm always scanning for these type of gaps. Then from there, what we're doing is looking for intraday patterns within it. So how do we scan for the gap? So that's probably a big question. How do you scan for the gap? I got you, Maggie. I got you. How do we scan for it? There's a couple different ways. So for me personally, like I use a software called Trade Ideas. So I use a software called Trade Ideas. Thanks, buddy. So like in the morning, what I do, so by the way, I get in front of my students that take my boot camp. I get in every morning before the market opens and we review these gaps. So I use this platform called Trade Ideas. It's awesome. So Trade Ideas will tell you like all the different gaps in a particular stock. So like what I'll do individually is look through every single stock that's got a gap. Now, just because something has a gap doesn't mean you buy it, right? What we're all we're doing is we're looking for gaps, and then we're looking for stocks that are breaking out the highs on its daily chart. Like I don't want gaps that do nothing. What I need to do is have gaps that are breaking out the highs. Because if they're breaking out the highs or they're breaking out over levels of resistance, then that gap has actually a chance to follow through and run throughout the day. So like something like this that ran from 50 to 78, hot damn, right? Like that's a big move for a day trader. Now, for a lot of people, a $50 stock, they don't like to play it. Most people like to play small cap stocks. But if you have a small account, say you got a few $1,000, it's better to buy 100 shares in something that could move $10, $20 than to try to time some penny stock that could move a few pennies, or it may go up 20, 30%, or it could drop 20, 30%. There's no safety in that. It's mostly just gambling. It's better to have 100 shares. If you had 100 shares at 50 bucks and something runs a 78, how much money did you make? Hypothetically. And that'd be, of course, your best case scenario. But how much money would you make? Thousands, right? And so it's really, really important. And so you got to always think like range on a stock is more important than the price of a stock. So if something has a low float and it's got big range, then it's got a chance to move. And so we want to focus in on those type of trades. So I go through on my trade ideas and I scan for every gap that's 3% or more. Every gap that's 3% or more. And then what I do is I start looking at the daily charts. I start aligning my intraday charts and I marry them. And that's how I'm going to get into them. Now, look, I know a lot of you guys don't have trade ideas because it costs $100 a month. And seriously, when you're starting off, who the heck has $100 a month laying around? Nobody, right? Like, seriously, when I was trading, when I was a new trader like you guys, I mean, like I was sitting there like trying to put 50 cents, $1 in my trading account at a time. And it's like, I don't have $100 a month to just look for gaps in some scans. That's fucking nuts. It's one thing to spend money on a mentor or a teacher, somebody that's like taking you under their wing, but like it's a whole nother thing to spend $1,200 a year on a fucking computer scan. So I totally get that. As you get better, the trade ideas is something that you should put on the table. But when you're new, I would use this website called thestockmarketwatch.com. So everybody type this in, thestockmarketwatch.com. All right? And once you're on there, hit this pre-market tab. You guys following so far? Good. Everybody good? Cool. So once you go down, hit this pre-market tab. So what you want to do pre-market is you'll see, like, look at all this stuff. Top gaining stocks, top losing stocks. Pretty cool, right? Top gaining stocks, top losing stocks. So what I do in the morning is I'll sift through all of these stocks. I'll see what is a breakout on his daily chart or a breakdown, because we will bet on them to go down. From there, what we'll do once we get the gap is we will hunt for the ORB pattern that I'm going to teach you right now. All right, you guys ready to learn this damn pattern or what? Hot dang, let's go do this. All right, so let's walk. I'm going to walk you through this thing. Cool. So ORB pattern, we look for a stock that gaps up or down. I need to see minimum 3 sideways candles on the 5-minute chart. 3 candles on a 5-minute chart. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to draw it out to you. First and third grader talk, and then we're going to talk about it. So you're going to have stocks like, it's going to sit here at 20 bucks. It's going to gap up to 30 bucks. You're going to have a spike at the open. And it's going to go sideways. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candles at the open. 3 candles minimum you got to see. You can buy on the 3rd candle. So if you get 2 candles that go sideways and it breaks the 3rd, you can buy it. But it's got to look like that. It's got to pop up. It's got to go sideways. Or it may come in an angle, but it's got to be consolidation. And you can only buy on the 3rd candle. Only buy on the 3rd candle. My biggest losses as a trader, and I was about to say the F word because I'm thinking about it, but I won't say it. My biggest losses as a trader when I was new always came from buying on that first damn candle. Like I would see news out there I'd see like something like that was really interesting. And so the market would open and all of a sudden I'd be like, I got to buy it. Well, as many times as a stock follows through, so many times that if you buy that first candle, they come crashing back down. So you don't want to sit there and ever buy on that first candle. Because if you buy in the first candle, you don't know if it's going to follow through. Sometimes it may, but more often than not, it doesn't. So you've got to stay away from it because trading is just a game of managing your risk. And you know what happens? Like when you do that, you buy in that first candle, you're just chasing it because you don't have a pattern, a base. See, stocks, guys, get their power from consolidation. They get their power from bases. So what you need is some type of consolidation so that you can manage your risk. You can let that 9 EMA catch up under it to manage your risk, and then you've got something that's coiled and powerful. But if you don't do that, then you are just pissing in the wind with your mouth open, which is kind of fun if you're drunk. But as you know, it doesn't work long term. You would be dehydrated. So we want minimum 3 candles, all right? So never buy that first candle. This is best within the first 30 minutes of trading in the morning. The indicators that we use intraday is volume, moving averages, VWAP, and aligning on multiple time frames. So let's walk this back to yesterday's class. We talked about how to set up our free stock charts, right? So get up on your Internet Explorer. Let's get up on our Internet Explorer real quick. All right. I know nobody uses Internet Explorer for anything anymore, but it seems to work the best for free stock charts. Go to freestockcharts.com. Hot day. Everybody got it? Guys, give me an idea. Are you following so far? You got your free stock charts up? Oh, yeah, Stanley. Boris is good. Boris, you Russian? До свидания, motherfuckers. I got a couple of Russian friends. That's all I know. Привет. До свидания. Well, mostly I learned all that from Rocky IV, though. Ivan Drago had to be like the coolest bad guy ever. If he dies, he dies. I'm sorry, man. I really like Rocky IV. Austin, I got you, man. We will, dude. I'll get you in them, guys. A bunch of people are saying about asking a question about the boot camp. I'm continuously basically in boot camps. Our students have lifetime access to them. So like if you're thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have time 6 months from now, it doesn't really matter. All my boot camps are recorded, archived. You can watch them from 2014. Yeah, and I'm continuously in them. So you can watch the old videos. You can come in when you want to come in. And then even 6 months from now, when you get in free time, you can watch them live. You can keep watching them. So like waiting 6 months, no point in doing it. If it's time to learn, it's time to learn. You know, where can you be in 6 months? Stanley, I will text message you. I got you, bro. Where can you be in 6 months? You never want to think like, oh, when I have 6 months, I'm going to have time. No, your time is today. When I get a business idea, I don't sit there and think about like, fuck, that's a brilliant business idea. I should wait 6 months, right? Because by the time the 6 months is over, there are people out there stealing my business idea, stealing my dreams, stealing my money. Money comes from people that act aggressively, and they start learning right away because this is a long process. It's going to take me 60 days to train you, and it's going to take you 60 more days to get good. So there's 6 months from now. That's awesome. You should come in 6 months from now, but you should also come in as soon as you can because there's no time to waste. Man, life is so short, right? Life is so short. Life is all over the place. So let's set up our intraday charts. Guys, everybody got their free stock charts up? Good. Hit this button right here. See this page button? You know that's your hat. Harmon Golf. Hit this button right here. It looks like a little paper. All right, so you got that. So see how it shows up? It pops up 10 minutes. I want you to change this to 5. All right? Now take this thing right here. Bring that down. Good. Now, I want you to add a couple things. So see where it says add indicator, guys? Click this. Type in moving. So it says moving average. Type that. Click that. Then it says add moving average to. Click this price history button. All right, now type it again. Moving right along with the good times and good news. Together we can't lose. Anybody know what show that is from? I'll send you $50 of Ethereum if you can figure out what show that is. Moving right along with the good times and good news. Together we can't lose. All right, Nino, Mike Bergman, Josh, remember that. I got to send them both $50. And send me your ETH addresses. I'm like so big into the 80s and 90s. It's like everything is Saved by the Bell, 90210 for me. I don't understand these new TV shows. Cool. Now type in one more indicator. VWAP. I'll give you one more chance for those of you guys. Christina, I got you early bird. I got one more song for you. Here we are, face to face, like a couple of silver spoons. Know where we are. What show's that from? $50 Ethereum to whoever knows that one. Damn, I gave it away. Vincent, I owe you $50. Rob Gunn, I owe you $50. You guys came at the same time. Josh, make sure that you get their Ethereum addresses. If you have Bitcoin addresses, whatever. I'm big into show tunes, man. And Saved by the Bell, too. Saved by the Bell is obviously the best. All right. So where it says moving average here, edit it. Show me that smile away. Anybody know that one? Now, so hit this 9, and then click this exponential. Kenny, I owe you $50 too. All right. So click this light blue, make this 9, hit this exponential. All right. Now, click this one, edit it. Let's change this to like a little, let's change this to a little purple. Purple's nice, right? There's no cash, man. We send things in Ethereum. This is a cryptocurrency world. No cash. Cryptocurrency. All right. So turn this to 20, exponential, click it. All right. And we got their VWAP. So guys, this is your intraday chart. Cool? This is going to be really, really helpful. So like when you're looking at like any type of intraday chart, what you can do is like if you hit J, you can change the symbol to whatever you want, Google, Apple, whatever, on your chart. This is going to be really important. So you've got your daily chart here, your 5-minute chart here. Of course, Mr. Harrison. Now, if you hit this tab here, what you'll have is your daily chart on top and then your intraday chart on the bottom. Cool? So you can do something like that too. So I just usually keep mine in tabs because I want to see the whole day intraday chart when I'm day trading. But you know, you can come in and kind of shred this thing up and down, or you can do side to side. Yeah, not bad, right? So free stock charts are all right. You got to deal with these stupid ads and stuff, and they don't have all the features, but They're still good looking charts. For free, why not, right? Everybody got their chart set up? So we're looking for 920 VWAP. Cool? Good? Buenos? All right. Here we are, face to face, like a couple of silver spoons. Cool. Now let's get into the actual pattern, right? So let's talk a little bit about these orbs. All right. So this is how we want to do these things. I got you waiting for name. So check this out. So see this gap here? It goes from 23 to 23.50. So we got a little gap on this chart. When I see a gap, most people think that they're not going to see the move on a stock. They've missed it. Like when they see a stock gap up, they get nervous. They're like, man, I missed it. I see a gap and I see opportunity. Because a gap is a sign of strength. It's a sign of honor. It's a sign of potential shred. So we want to see the gap up. And then what I want to do for ORB, right? What I want to do for ORB is I want to see minimum 3 candle sideways. So notice how this thing spikes up at the open, right? Then you got 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, 4 candle, 5 candles, 6 candles. 6 candles that go sideways, all right? Now, give me an idea. Where would you buy this thing? Josh, make sure you write down those addresses, copy and paste those things. Where would you buy this thing? Most people would try to buy this thing at $24.50. Are we most people? Come on. Are we most people? No, we're not. Most people would buy at $24.50. Most people would draw a horizontal line and think they have to buy at high of day. Let me tell you something about trading. You buy high, you die. You chase, you die. You believe in unicorns, you die. We never buy high. You buy high, you die. You short low, use a hoe. That's the nature of trade. So we don't want to buy at $24.50. That's what most people would do because they're chasers. And they believe, in all trading books, all people believe, if you buy high of day, you're at a breakout. Come on, get out of here. You think players are sitting there buying the high of day? You think people that know, smart people, rich people, people that study, and they know what's going to happen, they're buying the high of day? Come on. No, the suckers buy high of day. We're always looking for inflection points. When you think about buying, you have to think about the inflection point of where your support is, where your risk is, and then where's the inflection point where it can explode. The breakout is not about price. It's not about the high of day. It's about the point where you have inflection and your risk is small. That's where the breakout is. So what we want to do is we pop this thing up. And notice how this range gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. We want to be buying this thing at $24.25. Because, first of all, that's your trend line break. But like our stop losses always go under the VWAP on this type of trade. We want to have that VWAP and 9 EMA come in. So we got to put our stop loss in. Does that make sense? When you're trading, it's not about your exact entry. It's, can I get a good entry where my risk is small? Where are my moving averages and support underneath? That's more important. I'd rather buy a little bit early without the confirmation of the high of day break, where I know that my stop loss is really close. Why would I risk 60 cents if I can risk 15 cents? You buy a lot more shares, right? So that's where we got to go with this. And when you're new, use a physical stop loss just for the beginning, because it'll just get you used to stopping out automatically so you don't get stuck in some dogs. Does anybody know, for those of you guys who are new, and does anybody not know what a stop loss is? If you just give me a little raise of hands so I know if I should explain it. I know a lot of you guys have been with me for a while. Some of you guys are serial webinar people. What do we got? Anybody not know what a stop loss is? Tina, all right. Mikey. Okay. So most of you guys know. So a stop loss, Jorge, I got you. A stop loss is when you put an order, if the trade goes against you, you get out. So a stop loss is like I'm saying to the computer, if it goes below this area, I'm going to get out. It's a mechanical order. A mechanical order is fantastic. It's great, and we have to do it. And the reason we got to do it is because it takes the emotion out of the game. See, if you don't use it, you're sitting there thinking, like, when I don't use a stop loss, this is what I do. Should I get out, not get out? What if it bounces up? Oh, my God, well, you know, if it goes down a little bit, it might bounce up. And you're in this game of hopium. Anybody ever engaged in some hopium? Man, I lived on hopium for a long time. Hopium is worse than opium. Not that I've ever done it. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if I had, hopium is worse than opium. So put a mechanical stop loss in there because it takes the thinking out. If you go do something, your kid's crying, you've got to go to the bathroom, whatever it might be, you have an order in protecting yourself. But most importantly, like a lot of people, like if you don't have the order in and it gets close to that area, you're starting to think like, should I do it? Should I not? We want to take the thinking, the emotions out of the game. And so we put in a mechanical stop order. You know what? If it gets hit and it goes back up, so what? At least we're protecting ourselves. This is your hard-earned money, right? You all work hard for your money, right? Well, some of you guys do. Sure, some of you guys sit around, but I'm thinking that most of you guys work pretty hard. So we want to put in the mechanical stop loss. So I'm going to buy here as a break. I'm going to put my stop loss right there at, say, 24. I'm going to buy 24, 25. We've got 25 cents risk. Cool, right? 250 bucks risk if I bought 1,000 shares. Well, if I bought 200 shares, then my risk would be 30 bucks. That's pretty good. Think about that. If you bought 200 shares, your risk would be 30 bucks. So if this thing can run, and this is why you don't have to trade small cap stocks. If this thing runs from $24 to $26, I'm just rounding up. How much money you make? $2, couple hundred, 400 bucks, right? Hypothetically. So like you can still make good money without having to trade small cap stocks. And that's, I mean, it's only a small pop, right? Now, how I like to sell out of these things, like I always sell half into the first fight, and then I leave the other half and I let it ride up the 9 EMA. All right. What that means is like, I like to scale out. I want to take some profits. I always want to pay myself. You give me $1, I'm going to put it in my pocket. And then I let the rest ride up the 9 EMA and see where it can go. Sometimes they go a long way. Sometimes they don't go a long way. Yes, Mr. Mike, 9 EMA. It's just a 9-day moving average. Make sense so far, guys? Cool. All right. So RL. This is $100 stock. Like most people don't want to trade this shit, right? So how many shares could I have of $100 stock, right? Well, look, on the daily chart, you're breaking out, all right? Now, intraday, this is how you want to always do it. Your daily chart is for, write this down. Your daily chart is for idea generation. Your intraday chart is for entries and exits when you're day trading. Daily chart is idea generation. This is my idea. I want to get into it. It's my thesis. I believe this stuff can go up. Your intraday is about how you get in, and it's about precision. It's about entries and exits. That's where you're going to time everything. So your daily chart, you like it? Good. Now I zoom into my intraday and align what I see on the daily with a pattern. So I'm teaching you one pattern. Guys, I trade 18 damn patterns. 18 patterns. These 18 patterns, they take you through every single market condition and every single style of trading. You've got to have an expanded tool belt if you want to survive all markets for a long period of time. In trading, a one-trick pony is just a pony that's got a limp, right? One-trick ponies don't work in trading. We've got to have strategies that take all different aspects of what could happen in a market. That's why I trade 18 patterns. Now, look, out of those 18, probably like 8 or 9, I use the most often. But you still got to learn these things. It's good to learn to master one, but if you master just one, it's not going to work in every market. So you might only be trading like a couple months out of the year successfully. It's good to learn one first and then add to it, but you got to keep adding to it. I got you, Jeff, man. I hope you win too. So now I love this thing on the daily, right? So now intraday, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Where are we going to get? All right. So this thing pops up. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candles. Draw your trend line. All right. Draw your trend line. Look for that inflection point. So now I'm going to buy right here. I'm going to put my stop right under that VWAP. Put my stop right under that VWAP. Guys, when you're looking at these type of ORBs, if that VWAP is curling up right up under its kitchen, meaning it's holding it up, then you have a way to manage your risk. You know where to put your stop loss. So now we've got to come in. I'm going to buy this thing right here. And look, you don't have to time it to the penny. If you're interested in making 10 points on a trade, does it matter if you get it at 126.10 or 110.26.12? No, right? So you get this thing, you draw your line. When it hits, you hit. And when you dip, you dip. When that dip, you dip, we dip. What song is that from? I put my hands up on my hip. When I dip, we dip. There you go, Chris. I don't know why I'm so into the 90s today. Sorry. I really like to dance and I really like old TV shows. So we're going to buy, set our stop under that VWAP. VWAP means volume weighted average price. It's just an indicator. I use it like a moving average, no different. All right. Stop goes under that WAP. And if the WAP is too far or the 9 EMA is too far, then you don't get into the trade. You leave it alone. Now, how I like to sell. Once I get 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 reward to risk, I start selling. I sell half. Meaning, say I'm risking $1 here. Once I get to $3, $4, I'm selling partial. Then I'm going to let this rush right up this 9 EMA till it breaks down under. Hey, Felipe, I've got tons of students. I got a student in Finland right now, one in Sweden, and we've got a couple in Malaysia. I got them all over the place. Felipe, I got you. So everything that we do is recorded. It's archived. And then you can always, Skype me or email me with any questions if you got to watch the recordings. I'm pretty accessible. A mentor means you can call them on the phone. Does that make sense? So now for those of you guys with small accounts, you're thinking like, man, this thing's 125 bucks. What if you had 50 shares? 50 shares here, and it rips 10 bucks. How much money could you make If you have 50 shares, there's something small. See, most people want a penny stock that has 5,000 shares because you have a small account. But what if you have 50 shares that rips $10? There you go. You made some damn money, right? You made 500 bucks. Now, what if you do that again the next day? And you did it again the next day? Well, you start to build your account. Trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. There's not going to be one trade that just fulfills your destiny. There could be, but it would be luck. Trading careers, wealth is generated by doing the right thing a little bit every single day. I want to teach you guys how to make $100 a day. Well, guess what? A lot of people are like, fuck, that's not that much money. But what if you did $100 every day for 20 days? How much money is that? It's $2,000. That pays your mortgage. That pays for your car. That pays for something. It pays your bills. Then you know what happens the next month? Let's step that up a little bit. Let's not be greedy little bastards. Let's step that up a little bit. So then, guess what? Instead of $100 a day, we're going to try $150 a day. Then we're going to scale it to $200 a day. But we don't just come in saying, I deserve. A lot of people think like they buy a class, they have some money, and they're going to buy some shitty stocks, and they deserve to make $1,000, $2,000 a day. No. We're going to learn how to make $100 a day. And I'll tell you what, if you can learn how to do that, that's a small goal. It's very easy to scale to $1,000 a day. The easiest thing in trading to do is to go from $100 a day to $1,000 a day. The hardest thing to do in trading is to learn how to make $1 a day. I shit you not. If you can learn how to make $1 a day, I can take you to 1,000 real quick. Where our work is going to be is how do we get to that $1 a day? How do we get to the point where we're not losing? How do we get to the point where we're not gambling? That's the hard part. But that's where I come in because it's about mentality, it's about systems, it's about routines. And then we learn to make that $1 a day. Then we go to 100. And then we can scale that up because guess what? If you can make $100 a day, you know what you are? A winner. Because you're winning. And a winner, you can tell and coach to do anything in this world. The sky's the limit. But we got to get to that point. And if we get to that point, now we can scale this bad boy up. Does that make sense for you guys? You get what I'm saying? We don't need to get to $1,000 a day right away because it won't stick. But if you follow what I'm doing, I'll get you to $100 a day, and then we start moving it up piece by piece. Give yourselves the time to have success long term. Don't go for quick money. The quick money is going to come and go. But we're going to be thinking about this. If it's a career, you want to do this for a long time, then you do it this way. Make sense? Cool. I'm sorry for the rants, but you know, I get really excited about this stuff. This is my life's passion. This is what I do. It is possible with the PDT. This is my specialty. Cool. So look, this shutterfly. So you got a nice daily pattern here. Anybody know what this pattern here is? You got one test. Whoa, 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 whoa. One test, two tests, three tests, four tests, it breaks up. What pattern is that? Anybody know? Come on. Who knows? Tom, you know. JQ, you know. Mr. Bergman, you know. Vincent, you know. It's a flat top breakout. Awesome. A flat top breakout means test, test, test. It looks like a tabletop on top of your stock. When it finally breaks, it becomes very powerful. It's explosive. Stocks, they get their power from consolidations. They get their power from bases. They get their power from those resting phases. And when you finally break out of it, oh boy, you got something that's a heater, right? So good. So I've got a hot pattern. Now, intraday, notice this stock gaps up. That gap up is a sign of strength. That gap up is a sign of honor. That gap up tells you that this thing's ready to go. I like gaps. I love gaps. I smell them. I eat them. I love them. I hold them. Good. So gaps up. We pop up. 1 candle. 2 candle. 3 candle. Boom. Draw your trend line. Draw your trend line. Notice how you get your VWAP coming right up under the kitchen on this bad boy. Woo! Right up under that kitchen. If that VWAP ain't hanging out, that's not the trade for us. All right? I want to see that VWAP right up. Why? Because risk management is the most important thing we do. When I get that VWAP riding right up under the kitchen like that, all right? When I get that VWAP riding right up under the kitchen like that, I know where to put my stop loss. Guys, in trading, if you have to sit there and think about where you're going to put your stop loss, then the trade is over. There's no trade to be taken because we've got to think about, like, if I don't know where to put my stop loss, I can't manage my risk. If I can't manage my risk, then I can't take the trade. Right? And that's how we've got to think about this. For me, when I'm thinking about taking a trade, I am thinking about, most importantly, how do I get out if it goes against me? How do I get out if it goes against me? That's more important than anything else, right? So now this is the beauty. So say you're going to buy buying this thing at 97.25. Your stop loss going to be at 97, 96.75. You're going to risk 50 cents. You got a small account. You got 100 shares of this bad boy. And you're risking 50 cents. What is your risk? 50 bucks. Is that acceptable for your account size? Sure, 50 bucks is acceptable risk for somebody that is willing to take a trade if you have a small account. So as the thing shreds up, right, you want to be selling off some into this. That's just the nature of the game. We're in the business of taking profits. I almost always sell a little bit early. Do I care? No. Because if I put money in my pocket, it's money in my pocket. All right? So I'm always going to scale some out. And then I'm going to put a stop at my buy price, a stop loss at my buy price. And the reason is, Martin, I'm going to hit this cannon. I put a stop at my buy price for one reason. Now I'm playing on the casino. Now I'm playing for free. I sell half, I'm free on the rest. It could go to 100, it could go to 200, it could go to 300, whatever, right? It's a free trade. If it's a free trade, relax, Vincent, I'm in class. How am I supposed to send you some ETH while I'm in the middle of this bad boy? I got you. Right? So I want to sell half, put my stop at my buy price, and I let the rest ride along that 9 EMA. I let the rest ride along that 9 EMA. Make sense? You good? Sick. That's my boys. Uncle Sean, get off that Hopio. Uncle Sean, my mentor Rahul is from Calgary, probably one of the best businessmen that's ever come out of the city of Calgary. Rahul Sood, he'll tell you the same thing. I'll send him to your house. I think he's still got a house there. No Hopio. Pop up. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, 4th candle, it breaks. Draw your line, buy, set your stop, let her rock. When do we sell? Once I get 3 to 4, I'm looking to sell. It doesn't mean I have to sell. I'm looking to potentially sell. If this thing is just a dirty 9 EMA rider, well, yeah, I'll just kind of keep holding this thing if I can. But like I'm Indian, right? Y'all know, Indian people are cheap. We see $5, what do we do? We're bad tippers, bad drivers. We're cheap. If I see $5, I'm putting it in my pocket. So I'm always taking profits. My business partner, Mary Beth, she'll let this thing right up along the 9 EMA. I've just never had it in me. I always take profits. I always take profits. It's just who I am. The other part is that I very rarely trade till 12 o'clock. So for me, I'm always thinking about taking profits. You know what I mean? It's tough. Like, you don't want to give back profits. You know, like if you could take $5, versus $1, it's obviously better. But like for me, I trade better. Like I'm more relaxed if I take a little bit of profit on something. I sold 1/3 of my shares. I made a couple $100 and I put in my profit. It lets me breathe easy. Then I put my stop loss in my buy price, and then I'm allowed to just shred the way that I need to shred. You know what I mean? And so I'm always selling a little bit early the first half, but that's okay. Because the one thing I'm good at is putting a little bit of money in my pocket every single day. I'm doing this for a job, right? I do this for a living. So yeah, I sell a little early sometimes. So what? I find trailing stocks, don't work as well on these kind of momentum stocks because they just move so rapidly. I'm almost at a 70% on these type of ORVs. This is probably my best setup. All right, so let's wrap up today's training. First of all, let's not wrap up today's trade. You can do this trade on the downside too. You can do this thing on the downside too. So check this out. It's like, see how the stock gaps down? Guys, don't be afraid to short. Has anybody here, raise your hand, has anybody shorted before? Who shorts here? Hot damn. See, you guys are people after my heart. The market needs shorts. The short people, the people that short, we're the honest people. We're telling some of these turds that it's not okay to be a turd. It's not okay to smell in public. We will short the crap out of these turds if we can. Shorting, guys, for those of you guys that don't know what it means, shorting means you are betting on a stock to go down. You need to learn this. Why would you need to learn how to bet on a stock to go down? 2008, one of my best years trading. I was a young man. Everybody, I'm from Michigan, outside of Detroit. Everybody I knew lost their homes, lost their jobs, lost their life savings. People were getting foreclosed. Everybody was losing their lives because they were holding things, hoping that they would go up. My dad was the same way. My dad works at a company called Unisys. He's just hoping and hoping. Man, this thing goes from 50 to 40 to 30 to 20. I'm like, sell that shit. He's like, I've been here my whole life. I can't sell it. It goes down to 20 cents. 20 cents. Think about that. A man's life's work. Everything that he stood for, the loyalty, goes down to 20 cents. His $500,000 retirement plan was worth like 14 G's. Oh my God. And we laugh about it now because like at the time my dad had no clue like what I was going to do with my life or what he was going to do with his life. And so it was a little bit more stressful then. Because I worked out of the home, so I'm sitting next to him when I trade. I'm so close with my family. So like I've always traded around my parents and stuff, and to see that, heartbreaking. I was telling him like, you got to short this stuff, and my dad is so Indian. He's like, I'd be trading. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm shorting the shit out of your company. He's like, what? I'm like, Dad, you should just short this thing and hedge your stuff. You know? My dad's like, oh. My dad's like the ultimate, like, he knows I'm probably. My dad worked really hard so that I could do what I needed to do. But like, he still hasn't really reconciled the fact that his life, like he didn't get to do the stuff he wanted to do. So my dad's like always kind of like to shame people. So I'd be like shorting the shit, like making money. He'd be like, Kunal, in the 80s, I tried this day trading thing. It's a very big scam. I lost so much money doing this with Dudu Kaka. And I'm like, Dad, you guys are reading the newspaper, right? Like trying to big stock picks. He's like, I'm just telling you, it's a very big scam. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm like shredding like $3,000 today. He's like, yes, you very well may be, but I don't know that. Maybe that $3,000 is $300. So like I would tell my dad all in 2008, like, dude, you got to short this stuff. You got to short this stuff. And he was ride or die with this company, which is admirable in a way, I think. I don't know. Looking back, my dad's like, I should have sold the shit. So, you got to learn how to short because those times come. I don't know when it'll come again, but I'll tell you what, in the next few years, probably we'll be faced with, I don't know if it'll be a recession or crash, but if you look at like just statistics, in 1980, there was a recession. In 1990 to 1992 time, somewhere in that phase, there was a recession. In 2000, there was a recession. In 2008, there was a recession. We're in 2018. Does that mean it's coming this year? Who knows, right? But we know that kind of like every decade, there's a period of recession. That's just how it's been for the last 100 years, and who knows? With the Trumpster, he's working hard. He's working with really good people. I've got a ton of 5-star generals working on my things. So there will be no recession because I'm going to work right now. I'm working right now with Vladimir Putin and China. And right now, there's going to be no recession. It's all, if we do have a recession, it will be the fault of Hillary. She's very low stamina. She needs to sleep a lot, but there will be no recession. I tell you this right now as the President of the United States. There shall be no recession. And if there is, it's President Obama's fault. He's a Muslim. He's not even an American. I think that he works with the people in China. But in the end, look, I've got 100 5-star generals working for me, and they're good people. We're doing fantastic work. We work on the weekends. We go to Outback Steakhouse, and we do fantastic work. They're great people. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. The world has changed quite a bit. The world has changed quite a bit. When you can do impersonations of the president, growing up, you never would have thought about that, right? They're fantastic people. I'm sorry. So let's think about this on the downside. So you can short this stuff, right? So you get a gap down. All right. So you get a gap down. It's fantastic. Like when you think about a gap down, you can't blame the people of Korea. They're fantastic people. They don't have no food. They're very short, but they have nuclear weapons. And I love this man, Kim Jong. He's my friend. He's my good friend. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Enough. So this thing gaps down. All right, and it starts to go sideways. So you get 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, 4 candle, 5 candle, 6 candle. See how your VWAP is right on top of it? So you got a way to limit your risk. So you're going to short this thing as it breaks down here. So this would be about $15. Your VWAP is about, let's say, $15.50. I know my lines are not the quickest. These mouses, I think they're up to no good, right? So short, set your stop, let her rock. Remember that. Short, set your stop, let her rock. All right? Now you got this thing. Boom. First leg down. Covered. You don't have to short. You don't short the third candle always. You're going to short when you break your trend line. So it could be it's minimum 3 candles, guys. Minimum 3 candles. But you want to short when it breaks the trend line. So it could be 5 candles, 6 candles. What we need is minimum 3 candles. Guys, you got to learn how to short. Yeah, your stop is your cover. So you got to learn how to short. Guys, if you got a small account, you get 300 shares of this, and this fucking thing drops like this, how much money are you going to make? $15. It drops to $8. You got 300 shares. You make $2,000. Small account. That's why you don't got to be in no penny stock. If it goes, you got 200 shares because you got a $3,000 account, and it drops damn $7, you make $1,400. I'm not saying you wouldn't make the whole $1,400, but right, you have that potential. That's where we want to go with this. It don't got to be no penny stock. That's a triple negative right there. It ain't got no penny stock. How many people you know you can do a triple negative? Nobody. Make sense? Go. Let's go do what we do. Let's be hot. Let's be good. All right, I'm going to loop back in. So I got to, because people are starting to drop off, I'm going to give you the contest winner. Today's contest winner for the 60-day live bootcamp seat. 28 live classes. Everything is recorded in archive. Q&A sessions, quizzes, my personal phone number, market recaps, trading simulator. We're going to have personalized trade plans. You have access to a private student community where you're going to work with other like-minded students who are good, who are fast and motivated. You have lifetime access to all this. 200-page trading book. This thing right here is the best trading book you're ever going to see. I've actually added quite a few pages to it, so it might be a 200 plus. There's nothing you need to know about trading that's not in this damn book. That's the Bulls on Wall Street Trading Bootcamp Bible. Not to be sacrilegious. You get that. Talent search contestant. So I've been running a talent search for my next employee. Josh is answering your questions right now. For those of you guys that don't know, Josh came to me when he's 16 years old. His parents staked him like $500 and I put him on payment plans. And, he spent like 2 years paying it off. But now he works for me. He's 22, might be 21. I'm looking for a talent search. I'm going to put all the students on the trading simulator. I'm going to judge your trades. I'm going to hire somebody. I'm also going to give a cryptocurrency trading program. Guys, cryptocurrency is going to be the next big wave. You may not believe in it. You may not know about it, but know this. I've made more money in cryptocurrency the last 2 years than I have in stocks in 5 years. My biggest trade, my first $1 million trade was from cryptocurrency. You're going to get 3 months of chat room access. So I'm on chat room, guys. For those of you guys that know, I'm in this chat room. I trade live. I put a GoToWebinar link every morning. I trade live in front of my students. My resume is in real time. People always ask me, what's your resume? I tell them one thing, my resume is in real time. I trade live in front of people. I click those buttons in front of my people. I trade on screen share with my trading platform up so they can see how much money I made or lost every single day. Transparency, most important thing. A trading guru or mentor may say he made 10,000 bucks, but if you don't see that thing live because he doesn't have it up, most likely it's a lie. It's probably a Photoshop. I don't do no Photoshop. I'm already pretty enough. So you get 3 months access to all this stuff. All right? 3 months access stuff. Vincent Budak. Email us to claim your prize. You've won. All right? Email us. You have won. Now, guys, I'm going to go back into our slides in a second. What you get with our 60-day boot camp, and I'm doing an early bird special. You're going to get the live classes, 28, by the way. You get lifetime access. You can take live classes for the rest of your life because there's only 2 things certain in life, maybe 3. Your mom loves you. You get to pay a shitload of taxes in the United States. And I do class every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, without a doubt. Well, at least for the last 10 years. So you get 28 live classes. Everything is recorded and archived for you. You can watch classes via video if you live overseas. I've got a bunch of students right now that I work personally that live all over the place. So everything is recorded. It's archived, all that fun stuff. We do Q&A every class. Quizzes, homework, all that fun stuff. I do market recaps, so I trade in front of my students live. I put my balls on the kitchen table while I speed chop carrots. I trade in front of them live, the good, the bad, the ugly. We do a recap at the end of the day. Let's talk about the trades you took, and we reverse engineer them. Then I put all my students on trading simulators. For those of you guys that don't know, we put them on a real-time simulator. Then I watch them trade. I literally watch my students trade, and I grade their trades. So we have a trading journal that I give my students that they fill out, and I watch them trade. It's awesome. So what you'll see is from my guys, they're going to go in. And I get to actually see what the heck they're actually up to all the time. So all my students, Henrik, all these kind of guys, I get to actually see what the heck they're up to. So we have trading journals. So I chit chat with my students pretty much all day, but I'll see they'll all put their trading journals in, and I get to actually see what the heck they did. So Henrik will do a weekly trade review. So he's gonna go in this is how much money he spent in commissions, blah blah blah. He put snapshots of his things, and we have a formula that we use, and he has a journal. And then I sit there and I comment back on his trades and all that fun stuff. And it's kind of cool, right? So that's really, really important. Lifetime access. We have a private student community. And then good. Guys, I'm going to give my cryptocurrency trading program for free. I'm going to give it for free to anybody that gets in on this early bird special. You have to learn how to trade cryptocurrency. I'm telling you. It's ugly right now. Cryptos is a little bit boring. But when it goes, it's going to go. I'm going to show you. I got a 16-hour course that I'm going to send to you for free. So you get 3 months of Bulls Vision membership, which is our chat room. So you get a chat room, the cryptocurrency course, and all this stuff. That's a total of $4,300. For the first 5 people, I'm going to give you early bird pricing at $2,300 with payment plans available. Put in your email and your phone number if you want to have one of my guys call you, or probably me, and talk about your goals, and you want in on this early bird pricing. If you want that cryptocurrency boot camp with the boot camp, put in your email, put in your phone number. I will have somebody give you a call and talk about what you want to do with your trading career. And yes, you do get to trade with me because that comes with my chat room. So put in your number, put in your email. I'll have somebody call you. They're going to talk to you about your trading goals. We'll figure out a way to get you in class. I know finances are tough in today's day. Don't let money hold you back. We will work out a deal if it needs to be there. Just put in your number and I'll have somebody call you and we'll get this party going and make sure that you guys are able to get what you need. If you can just give me a show of hands. Jorge, I gotcha. I'll make sure to give you a call. 815, got it. Thomas, 416, got it. That's Canadian, right? I do webinars 4 days a week. Brandon, I got you, 786. Good. Big Mike, you're in. Cool. Ryan, good. Andy Diaz, awesome. We'll give you a call tomorrow. My friend from the Philippines. After 6 p.m., no problem, Thomas. Guys, don't let, as you probably know, I'm not a stickler for details. If you want to take class, you want to get in, I will find a way to get you in. We'll talk to you. Whatever we got to do, we'll get it done. I mean, that's just the nature of the game. I know, like when I was new, my mentor, Paul, I told Paul's like, dude, it's going to cost you $5,000 to learn from me. I'm like, fuck, Paul, I'm 24 years old. And he's like, he worked something out. He's like, all right, we'll figure out something, right? And don't let money kind of hold you back from whatever you're trying to do. We'll figure out a way and make something happen. And you're going to need to learn all this. If you don't learn live, then you're not going to be able to learn. For those of you guys, this is my cell number right here. Text me today. Let me know how you like class. Let me know if you're interested in whatever. If you're not, if you just want to say, hey, I encourage you to use my cell number. If you can't get a hold of your mentor, he's not your mentor, right? That's going to be important. Felipe, are you in Salt Lake City? I got a couple students over that way. Cool. So guys, hit me up. I want to see some damn text messages. Somebody message me. Let me know how you doing. Come on. Let me know how you doing. I encourage you to always save my number. Anytime you're in a jam, I should be your first line of defense. I should be your first line of defense. You'd be surprised. I got no girlfriend, no kids, and no hair. So I got a lot of free time. You'd be surprised. When you lose your hair, you got so much free time in the world. So use my phone number. I look forward to hearing from you guys. For anybody, I'm going to get back into the slides. If anybody wants early bird pricing, put in your name, put in your phone number, and I'll have somebody call you tomorrow. We'll get you early bird pricing, payment plans, whatever you need. That's only for the first 5 people. I may let a couple people linger on. All right? Cool. My friends, my people. Let's get back to doing what we got to do. Let's wrap some things up. So number 1, trading routine. With that one, you're just showing up to the casino playing roulette. You're just showing up to the casino playing roulette. What does that mean? That seems like a mouthful, right? Well, trading it's tricky. There's a lot going on. You have to think about dozens of variables at any given time to really encompass what you have to do that day. So how you get over that cognitive overload of trading. So there's so much involved in trading. So how do you get over that cognitive overload? Having a routine kind of dumbs things down. It puts you on autopilot on what you need to do so that when the trading day opens, you're not sitting there necessarily thinking, about what you have to do because you're on autopilot. So for me, like I got to have an idea of my overall trend in the market, sectors I'm trading. So one thing I do all the time, let me shut off some of this stuff. One thing I do all the time, like every morning, I look at the ETF or the QQQ. And I figure out to myself, like, what is the market doing? Where is the trend going? Are we in a bullish or bearish market? PJ, I look forward to having you too. Then I make a scan for all the stocks that are breaking out on earnings or news. So on my gappers, I come in and I replay in my brain the stocks I have on my list and how I would trade them. I'm looking for ORB. I'm looking for quick pullback buy. I'm looking for VWAP trades. I'm looking for flag breakouts. So I trade a lot of different patterns. So I'm replaying, like once I have the stocks on my list, what I can potentially do with all of them. So I'm doing this pre-market. And then I have a process of timing my entries, right? So like I'm always thinking about my routine. But for me, like the minute I wake up, this is how I do things, right? I wake up in the morning. I usually wake up like 6, maybe 6:30. I use never any alarm. Never any alarm. Anybody know why you don't use the alarm? Or why I personally don't? Fuck. So let me tell you something. I got you, Joshua. I'll get you a call tomorrow. When I had a job, my office was like 45 miles away from my house, and I'm from Michigan. And I had to wake up with a butt crack of dawn. So I have my iPhone alarm. And to me, there's nothing more heinous in the fucking world than an iPhone alarm. You hear that thing go, and all I think of anytime I hear it is I think of my cubicle. I think about how fat I was when I was working in the cubicle because I used to go out to eat lunch every day with everybody and, you know, make small talk and all that bullshit. And it makes me think of that damn iPhone alarm from when I was working in the cubicle. And it's like I have PTSD from it. Like I hear it, I'm like, anytime I hear anybody's going, I'm like, no, mama, no. Like it's crazy. So like I don't wake up with the alarm anymore. I go to sleep. I try to go to sleep at a normal hour, and then I just wake up on my own. It's important to me because I'll tell you what. If you could just wake up with no alarm, and it doesn't matter what time. It's it could be from 6. Sometimes I wake up at 7. Who cares? You just wake up and you're so fresh. Like when I wake up in the morning, I shit you not, there's not an ounce of tiredness in my body. I wake up and I'm like, whoo, I'm ready to go. It's showtime. It's go time. It's magic time. And I get up and I'm out and about. I take a shower. I get ready like I'm going to my job because trading is my job. When I was a new trader and I quit my job for the first time and I wasn't taking a shower and getting ready in the morning, it was all pretend. Like it wasn't like I was going to work. And so I was actually doing a lot of gambling and I was having a lot of losses and stuff. Like when I became a full-time trader, my first year trading full-time, I actually made more money trading while I was at work than I ever did trading money at my house that first year. Because like at work, I was so disciplined because I had to work, get up and do all my stuff. Where like when I first started trading at home, it was like I wake up in my bedroom, I dust off the Doritos from my chest hair, roll out of bed in my underwear, and hop to my desk, and I would just try to trade. And it's like, that's not a job, right? So now it's like, everything is just very job-like. I wake up when I got to wake up. I take a shower. I shave. I usually cut my hair. At this point, I got to be Vin Diesel-like and just keep cutting in. Man, those people like Bradley Cooper, they're really lucky. So then I go for a walk on the beach. I usually walk for 30 minutes, hour. Man, you put your toes in the sand, you get your feet in the water. It's like you don't need coffee. man, you get a little sun. So like in Florida, the sun comes out right now this time of year about 6. You get out there, you put your, like I'm in the Gulf, so there's no waves. It's like a lake out there. Man, I'll put my feet in there, walk around, take some pictures of myself, right, from my Instagram or whatever, send them to my mom, and that wakes you up. And so a big part of my morning is just like getting ready for the day. I always FaceTime my mom in the morning, say, hey, man, if you get that out of your day, calling your mom, your day's always going to be good. You know what I mean? So you get that out of your day, then you're living. You get that out of your day, you're really, really living. And so that's for me a big thing. Got to call my mom in the morning. I talk to my employees and I just get ready. And then I come to the computer about, an hour before the market opens. I get my students ready. We do a boot camp for like our students. We do a morning webinar. I get them ready. All right. I get them ready. I show them the stocks that I'm going to trade. So first thing we do, we look at the market. Then we look at gappers. Then we look at our overall watch list. Then we talk about how to trade them. That's the thing is, even if you're not new, if you're brand new and you don't know anything about trading, when you take our class, like you get me in the morning, I'm showing you what's going to happen in the market. What's better than that, right? I'm showing you what's going to happen. So even if you don't know, I'm showing you what's going to happen. So you're ready to trade. You're learning. So I get in front of my students. I start teaching. I start jibber jabbing. I hit them. I try to motivate them in the morning. I get them pumped up. We listen to a little music and we get them pumped up so they're ready to go and attack. Because that's all it is, right? Attack, 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 attack. If you ain't on the hunt, it's not going to work. Very, very important, right? So that's kind of how we work out these things in the morning. And that's my morning routine. It's super relaxed. I'm not one of those guys that gets in front of the computer at 6 a.m. I mean, could you imagine? Like, if I wanted to sit at the computer or my cubicle for 10 hours a day, I would just get my job, right? Like, I love these guys that get in front of the computer at like 6 a.m. and they're like, I'm trading pre-market. And they like celebrate waking up so early. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. Why would you work this hard to work this hard, right? And get up at 4 a.m. or some shit. Not my style. So tomorrow's agenda, trading psychology overview. We're going to talk about trading psychology. Look, technical analysis, the patterns are 20% of the game. The rest is managing your emotions, trading psychology behind the trade. The goal is to make us into robots so we can do this without thinking. We're going to talk about how to trade breakouts and breakdowns. And then, of course, aligning on multiple time frames. And guys, I'm not one of those people that think I'm like perfect or anything. So if you got feedback about the webinar, text me or just email me or something. Like, frankly, I like to hear from people like, if I'm not doing a good job, I want to know. If I am doing a good job, I want to know. But if there's things that we could tweak, I want to know. So you can always hit me up on social media. If you want to just tweet me at Canal00 what you thought about the webinar, that would be awesome. It'd be a huge favor for me to just know, kind of if people are liking what I do or not do. And, that's going to be really important. And then, like I said, you got my number. I challenge you to use it. Do it. Fucking A, right? You got the number, right? Fucking use it. Let's open this thing up, some questions. And remember, if anybody wants an early bird pricing, put in your phone number. Somebody's going to call you tomorrow. I'll make sure you get into the program. Our class starts in about 10 days or 9 days. I'll get you in, we'll get you into the class right now, though, so you can start rewatching videos. I got to mail you a course book. I got to mail you this thing, right? So, I got to sit there and I won't overnight it because it's super expensive, but I will, priority ship it to you, and you'll start reading it. And then, dude, you're good to go. It's going to be really important because all the stuff that you need is going to be on there. So like when you think about like how we kind of run through these things, you know, it is, I have everything written on like one page. So when you think about like, you know, our training boot camp, if you go to our 60-day boot camp module page, it's on the top of the website. All your links are here, your quizzes, old videos, all the resources, flashcards, which is very important, study guides, training setups. This is a document. This is a document. How I'm gonna, you put your document in here when you need your trades graded. I believe boot camp starts next Tuesday. Josh would know the exact date, but I believe it's next Tuesday. So not this coming Tuesday, which would be tomorrow, but the next one after that. And you know, all the stuff you need. And look, you can watch videos from like, you can watch old boot camp videos from 2014. Pretty cool. Boot camp 17. I've been doing these things for a long time. Doing these things for a long time. So everything is here. It's really easy to organize. You get lifetime access to this bad boy. Lifetime access to this bad boy. That's what you need. DVDs will not help you learn. They won't. A couple videos won't help you learn. It's called mentorship for a reason. I got you. Let's open this thing up to some questions and let's shred. I apologize for running a little bit late. I know I'm supposed to be going an hour and I keep kind of shooting over a little bit, but what can you do, man? We're having fun. We got to do what you got to do. Z-Freak! Z-Freak! The Thrillers in Manilas. Brandon Lino, do you cover options? No. And guys, if I missed your question, by the way, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because probably I didn't see it, so just always answer it again. Ask it again if I missed it. Tango, you said breakouts aren't working in this market. Why is it? Certain types of breakouts are working, just not all breakouts. They are working, just certain types. Oh, yeah. Julius, I got you, bro. This one. Can I use ORB in swing trading? No, ORB is a day trading strategy. We're going to learn some swing trading once tomorrow. Stanley, flat top breakout. Is it 3 minute, 3 candles on a 5 minute? Flat top breakout is based on your daily chart, but you can use them intraday too. I cover a lot of that in class. Like we use them on both time frames, but flat top breakout on your daily could go for months. Andy Diaz, 774, got it. I'm on it tomorrow. Mr. Gabian, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. This is your first question today. Yesterday you were hot fire with the questions. What's up with that? Do you buy your whole position in one go? Yeah. And for day trading, I do. Martin, yeah, I mean, you know, maybe they might go tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see. Stanley, do you use Profitly to track your trades? Stanley, I don't personally own Profitly. Somebody else does. That's not my website. Arun, my friend. Hello. Tell me something. Anybody have any Indian customers? Indians are the best. So I had this Indian customer. He was amazing. So Indians always run the same way. So like he always called me at like 6 a.m. He'd be like, hello, Kunal. And I'm like, hello? He's like, this is Bharat. I'm like, hey, Bharat, what's up? He's like, hey, buddy, tell me something. Hey, my friend, tell me something. And I'm like, what do you want me to tell you? It's fucking 6 a.m. He's like, what's good, my friend? Number one, can I get a little bit of discount on the chat room? And also, hey, tell me something. What are the hot picks? Oh, man. What should I use per trade brokerage? Joel said, email me. I'll send you some examples, some different ideas. I mean, Speed Trader probably is the best, and then Interactive Brokers. I get some good discounts on some of those people because we get so many customers over there. Ravi, Thriller from Manila. Oh yeah, Mr. Miller. Like this is kind of like I would stay away. Like, where's that damn stock that we were looking at today? Hold on. Hey Matt, will you remind me tomorrow? I'll dig up some examples from some past. I can't find any from today because they all lined up pretty well today. You know, like even something like this, it didn't follow through, but you know, it was still pretty close. Do you ever use a Squawk Box for real-time news, Mr. Bergman? No. It just distracts me. I like to listen to music. Most of the time, country music, depending on my mood. I either go rap music or country music, depending on my mood. Quest rate sucks, but I would try Interactive Brokers. Julius, will you ever trade cryptocurrency completely? Never. The stock market is really the best market to trade, like for day trading and quick trades. Cryptocurrency is more of a wealth building thing. Yeah, David, what's soaking hard at 3? You're right. What else? What else? Who did I miss? Guys, there was thousands of questions, so if you don't mind, just if I miss you, just react if you don't mind. Hey, Raymond, what's up, baby? Serious, yes, I'm excited to teach you that. Stanley, Fidelity Active Pro, have you heard of them? I've heard of them, but I haven't used them personally. Mike, if I've got a 5 to 9 job, what do you think of the E-mini futures market? The problem with E-mini's futures market is that it still runs the hottest, like the hour before the market opens, but it never runs in the afternoon or like at night. So E-mini's future, if you get a job, sucks. I would go with cryptocurrency at that point. What is the meaning of life? Cool cars, hot babes, nice family, good health. What else can you ask for? Cebu. Hey, Hannah. Robert, yeah, I'll get you a link to the webinar. Kevin, how you doing? You talk about a 3% gap. Do you also look at the volume? And yeah, like I usually like to see like 50,000 shares kind of pre-market, but sometimes I'll ad-lib that. Still trade with Mr. Foose? Yeah, Cameron's like a good friend of mine. He's the man. That's my boy. What do you trade most daily, stocks or cryptocurrencies? Stocks. Always been stocks. Dominic, for swing trading, would you use a daily or weekly for your idea generation? I use daily. Hey, Mr. Gunn, what do you think about the marijuana sector? 50-50. I mean, there's so many good sectors out there. Marijuana sectors run randomly, but you can make money on them when they go. I'm just not a big into the marijuana. I don't understand why anybody would do marijuana when they can just get a bunch of cocaine and hookers. Ever trade Tesla? Yeah, trade Tesla quite often. Can you say that we're in a bull market right now? Angelique, yeah, I mean, we've been bull market for 10 years. We're hot. Tango, how do you find funding for trading, guys? So for those of you guys that have small accounts that want to be able to day trade, my bootcamp students that pass, they can trade inside my hedge fund with my platform where I give them capital and tools. All our bootcamp graduates are available for that. So, you don't get stick with pattern day trade rules and all that. I'm applying capital to all my students that pass that want to trade on our platform. What would you say the biggest mistake for noobs is? Unrealistic expectations, I think. Rather than thinking this is a job and you're going to come in and really learn something and spend some time growing, people just want to come in. They think they buy a class that they just deserve to make some money, and they deserve to make too much money. The hardest thing to do is remember, make that $100 a day. If we can do that, we can do anything. Jariz, do you have a broker commission group discount? Yes, Jariz, I've got a few of those. Hit me up or email me, and I'll make sure to introduce you to the right people. Tango, but what if we aren't part of your boot camp but have a strong record? Tango, it's just for my students. I just haven't met anybody that has a strong record that I haven't been able to train. So, I just stayed away from it. Hey, Andy. So look, boot camp will work for pretty much anybody with crazy hours. Remember, every class is recorded. It's archived. Dude, you can call me, hit me up with questions like whenever you watch the videos. So like you don't have to worry about getting caught up. I have a forum where you can work with other students, and like they're always talking about class. So like the support system is there. So like if you have to just watch the recordings and you come into class when you can, it's totally cool. And remember, you get lifetime access. Maybe your hours don't work right now and you're just watching the recordings and you're calling me asking questions. But a year from now, maybe your schedule clears up or you're trading full time. You'll be able to come in class live and, participate in all that stuff. Hey, Matt, that's a scary proposition, man. Matt's saying he's got to convince his wife to let him buy the boot camp. That can be a scary proposition. I think you could do it, man. Ruben, what's your area code? Hey, Sirius, what is your advice to people who are not profitable yet, but are on the brink of quitting? Well, look, we all, frankly, get to the point where we're thinking like, man, maybe I should be doing something else. That's natural. You have to be thinking about like, if you're on the brink of quitting, is it like, am I quitting because I just don't get the information, or because I don't have the right teaching or information? Like if you have everything right and like you're still not succeeding, then you've got to take a real deep internal look on like why it's not working. Like you've got to do some real analysis of why it's not working, and do some heartfelt analysis. And if it's like, if this is your passion, you love it, and you're showing progress, then you owe it to yourself to keep going. But if you don't really like it, you're not doing the homework, you're not doing the work, but you're just kind of doing it to make money, yeah, you probably should bail, cut your losses. Trading's not for everybody. Kinga, what's up, baby? Kinga, my West Coast students have it made because they can go to their job and they can trade those couple hours in the morning. You got a good schedule. Hey, Chris, that's pretty good. Actually, I would be interested in seeing what you've been up to. Dominique Wilkins was one of my favorite basketball players, FYI. How are you able to keep consistency and maintain a long-term vision of success while trading at work? For me, like I'm a short-term person. Like, man, you'll see me make mistakes all over the place because I like instant gratification. But with trading, like I was always trying to think about like my life 10 years from now or 5 years from now, because I knew I wasn't going to get it working in my cube. And so like I had pictures of like my family all this stuff always there, like motivating me. Like, this is why I'm doing this. Like, I'm doing this for my family. I got 3 fucking sisters. I got to marry these chicks off, right? Like, I got so much stuff to do in life. Like, my why of like my family was like so important. I mean, that kept me going. Like, it had to, right? Like, if you can't motivate yourself or your family, you can't motivate yourself to take care of your parents, you can't motivate yourself to inspire your siblings, then you're not even a man. You got to do it, right? Like, you have no choice. Like, this is who we are. We've got to do it. And that's how I always thought, is like, man, I suck. I'm not feeling it, but I have to do it. I have to do it. I have no choice. Because what is my other option? To fail? To be a fucking cold caller my whole life? That's what I was doing for, right, my sales. Be a fucking cold caller? Sucks, right? I had no choice. Chris, yeah, you got to pick and choose your trades for sure. Steve, Steve's saying in recession, do brokers make it even harder to borrow short since it's current downtrend? They do on certain stocks, but like a majority of them, no. And you can always use inverse ETFs and stuff like that. Yeah, there'll be a select few that are in the news that your brokers might try to stop you shorting, just like now, right? Certain low float stocks and all that stuff, they try to make it so you can't short it. But a majority you will. Inverse ETF is like, so Steve, check this out. So say you have like the QQQ, right? This is like, it represents the NASDAQ. SQQ shorts the NASDAQ, but 3x, so 3 times the NASDAQ. See that shit? So like if you wanted to bet against the NASDAQ, you could buy SQQ. So the NASDAQ goes down, this would go up 3x of what the NASDAQ goes down. So they have like inverse ETFs for everything. Fucking cool, right? Stanley, how many students graduated the hedge fund program? Quite a bit. I mean, we've had hundreds, and everybody's eligible for it. Ayush, what's up, baby? Do you recommend the TC2000 brokerage? I use TC2000 for charting, but I actually haven't tried or used the brokerage. Hey, Kelson. Total cost for the course right now on the early bird special is $2,300 for the whole shebang, chat room, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, if you put in your phone number, I'll have somebody give you a call. Cool. Guys, it's been real. It's been fun. If anybody wants to chat, just put in your phone number. I'll have somebody give you a call. If anybody needs to call me, you got my number. I look forward to having you guys. First 5 people will get that early bird pricing. That's going to be the whole shebang. You got to learn that cryptocurrency. So I'm essentially throwing that in for free. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. All right? So, going once. Going twice. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been fantastic. I hit you with everything I had. I gave you my all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I know I don't fucking procrastinate. Jesus. I'm on the hunt 24 hours a day. I'm on the hunt 24 hours a day. I never stop. I never give up because I got too much on the line. I got my family. I got my friends. I got everybody counting on me. You guys are counting on me. How can I not have the energy? How can I not have the passion when all you guys are counting on me to put on a fucking show tomorrow? And you know what? Tomorrow you're going to see a show. I'm going to be like Celine Dion, just singing away. My friends, I got to go do what I do. Peace.